Players Teaching Players and Under Armour proudly present the 2011 Delco Pro-Am Championship Game Pre-Show. Recorded live from Competitive Edge Sports in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. And now, here is your host, Aaron Ortega.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for the 2011 Delco Pro-Am Championship pregame show. I'm joined by Simon Rosenwasser, Tom Dillard, and Shane Eachus here at Competitive Edge Sports in King of Prussia. We're welcoming the league director, Kevin Towns, along shortly. But coming up first, we want to just recap everything going on throughout the playoffs so far. Shane, this championship game features Take Your Game to another level against Omega Medical, the 8 and 3 seed going off against each other. Good slate of games last night. No reason to expect anything here different.
Yeah, last night, one thing that we saw in particular, Omega Medical came out, had a bit of a cakewalk there in the second half, blew up, outscored Rodano, their opponent, by 27 in the second half, absolutely tearing them apart. So they came in here. They're going to be pretty fresh tonight coming off of that second half, that second 20 minutes last night. Take your game to another level. They were in an absolute dogfight last night. They went out there, held on for a 3-point victory against Under Armour Elite. It came down to the final shot, Khalif Wyatt with an opportunity to tie it for Under Armour Elite, unable to do so. So, for Take Your Game to another level tonight, they're going to be used to having played in a tight contest already. Omega Medical, maybe not so much, but I would think that both of these teams are going to need to be ready for that here tonight, as we're likely looking at a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Look on paper, these two are the most talented teams in the league, Shane. And Simon, Shane talked about the cakewalk for Omega Medical last night against Rodano. They slowed down a team in Rodano that scored 102 points in their first playoff round, kept them, as Shane said, just 17 points in the second half last game. It was a 45-42 game at half, and they just came out and dominated that second half of that game.
Yeah, their last two games against it's really been a cakewalk for Omega Medical throughout the playoffs. First game they played Millennium, took down the 1 seed, 76-57. So really two impressive games for Omega Medical. Calvin Green came out, scored 29 points last night against Rodano. So he's going to be a key factor for Omega Medical here, going up against the big guys of Take Your Game to another level. But should expect more of the same from Omega Medical, considering the fact that they've only had 5 or 6 players their last 2 games. No Sean Singletary, but John Griffin's really stepped up, been a big factor for them from beyond the arc. So it's going to be interesting to see what we have here tonight with Omega Medical.
Yeah, Omega Medical really took advantage of their size and strength down low last night out against Rodano. But Tom, not going to be necessarily the case tonight. You have a big, talented team and Take Your Game to another level. That can match up just as well with them out there.
Well, of course, and you have 3 most likely big guys, who can really match up against the Antonio Pena's, Rob Kurtz's, to where it's not going to be their advantage tonight like it was yesterday against Under Armour Elite, who's playing without Lavoy Allen, without Charles Brunson. Yeah. Then again, of course, against playing Stompoff, who had in the first game, who their only tall player was Cohen, and I mean, he's not very dominant player. He more or less tries to pull it out and shoot the outside jumper, which was working for him, but they didn't really have the inside presence. So really tonight, it's going to be more of an inside and outside game, like you're saying, because because yesterday it was the post play that you thought that they were going to take advantage of, but then when it was some of their bigs against Will Cummings, against Dalton Pepper, who pull it out and have the speed and the quickness to really take it inside and attack the basket, or do the pull up the shot for the 3, or just have their way with the bigs based on their speed. So really, it's take your game cannot really think one mindset.
Yeah, we talked about this, Shane, on the way up here. These are two teams, big teams, and we saw the size advantage play in for Omega Medical, huge last night, and for Take Your Game to another level. That's not going to be a factor for either of these teams. These guys are going to be really banging. You talked about the dogfight mentality of this game. That's really what it's going to be.
Yeah, there's not going to be any distinct mismatches out there, as both of these teams have had the benefit of having all year long Take Your Game to another level and Omega Medical, both in their wins, have just come out and basically bullied teams. They haven't matched up against a lot of teams with a ton of size. Typically in this league we'll find a team with 2 guys over 6'7", 6'8". Both of these teams are, they step in with 3, 4 guys at 6'10", and they can go out and they can just roll them through and keep them fresh. And they're going to need them fresh here tonight because they're going to be banging bodies down low all night. And even the guards for these two sides are both evenly matched in size. You got guys like Reggie Redding, Mark Tyndale, Marty Collins. They match up well in both height and weight. And it's not going to be anybody going out there and pushing anybody around tonight, that's for sure.
Now, two very evenly matched teams on the floor tonight. Should be a great game. We're all excited for it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break with League Director Kevin Towns talking about the state of the Pro-Am and going forward from this year.